health-wise, fitness-wise, and where you are at this stage, a couple of days out from match against Italy?
Yeah, good to go. Available for selection. Obviously, was very disappointed to miss out on the French game. It was a game that I really wanted to play in, but just didn't quite get there. Just didn't hit the return to play protocol markers. Failed. So had to wait a little bit longer and back trained fully last week and fully this week. So good to go.
That's good to hear. And
Thanks.
can I just ask you about some remarks that Mike Hatton and Andy Farlett made about better communication on the pitch and better decision making? You know, they want that from the players. I mean, how as players do you achieve that?
It's by working hard, isn't it? By listening, by learning from your mistakes. You know, it's been a mixture of things. In my opinion, we've created a lot of times. We haven't taken some of them. I think at times we're missing opportunities to put the ball into the space. Very early on in the French game, there was a few chances that we needed to shift the ball, and then there's other times where we shifted it well into space, and then the space closed up and we should have put it in behind. So there's lots of examples that we've gone through as a team, and you know, with individuals and small groups, and said that, you know, it wasn't good enough for international standard, and despite all those things, we still came within, you know, a penalty away from you know, winning the game. And there was a few penalties in that last phase of play that we could have got in terms of offsides and stuff like that. So, you know, that's the frustrating thing. But you know, the thing that we can control is being better at seeing the space, and then when we do create the opportunities, that we make the most of them and we're clinical. And it'll be the same against Italy. That's, you know, the coaches have come in, they've done a fantastic job. It's very different to what it was before, but we will be better for this going forward. Of that I'm convinced. You know, if we talk about World Cup cycles, I might not be a part of the full cycle, but this group will definitely be better for this type of coaching and structures.
Thank you. Have a good week.
Thanks.
Johnny, many people might have seen this Italy game as one for the coaches to give more experience to other players and all the rest. But for you now, with the position that you're in, obviously a win is always very important, but to get that win and get some confidence in the team, is that what's most important?
Yeah, like it depends what way you look at confidence. Like I don't think we've lost our confidence as a group. You know, starting the campaign is definitely a million miles off what we wanted. We wanted 2 wins from 2. Obviously, going down to 14 early against Wales is one thing, but like, we took a lot of confidence from that game in terms of what we did with 14 men and some of the chances we created. And again, it comes back to that, like, the hard part in international rugby is creating the chances, you know what I mean? And we've done plenty of that. We now need to go and take the next step and finish them off and see the opportunities better. And I don't think this group has lost confidence. It certainly didn't feel like that training today. I think we're all looking forward to trying to finish this campaign on a high. You know, a lot can happen. I don't think mathematically it's over. Maybe it is. We haven't even focused on that. We want to win the next game in front of us, and then, like I said, target the one after that and finish on a high, and then, you know, that'll give us some good feelings going into the next round of fixtures.
Hi Johnny. Sorry, when you mentioned about the World Cup cycle, and I remember you did a Mace ad recently where you were talking about keeping an eye on the future. Have you considered, like, not in the near future, but when you do hang up your boots, have you considered whether you would stay, would you coach, would you go into punditry, or step away altogether?
None of the above. I have a fair idea what I'll be doing. You never tell anyone your plans because they can change, can't they? But I've got some things that I'll work towards over the next, whether it's a year or 2 years, I don't know. Like, I'll work towards getting into the real world and starting another life. I think there's some parts of this game that, like, are amazing, that you love, and you'd love to be a part of it forever, but then there's some parts that you just can't wait to get a million miles away from it. So I love it at the moment. I'm loving every moment of playing, and I just want to focus on this campaign, and then if I stay on next year, just focus on that and try and make the most of whatever's left.
Thanks. And just when you're talking about the emphasis on communication, do you see quiet guys in the team, and is it something that you can help somebody with, or is that just in their nature that maybe some guys are louder than others, or how do you encourage guys to talk more if it's not in their nature?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I think it's something that we work a lot on. You know, I think in Leinster especially, we have a very, very quiet group, just by nature. They're amazing players, all of them, you know, the guys outside me, like world class at a lot of the basics, and brilliant at their jobs. And the next level for them is to try and improve that little bit of communication and just staying in the moment for longer, you know what I mean? Just not drifting when the ball's away from them, and staying. And you look at the best teams in the world over the last few years, and New Zealand obviously leading the way, and how much their outside backs especially can feed in. You know, we had Graham Henry in with Leinster, and he told us through with Wayne Smith and the coaches there about how they cue in action. So the guys in the outside channels were responsible for, you know, seeing the space and then cueing and calling the right call to get the ball to that space. So it's a team thing, and it's something that we're massively working on. It hasn't probably come to fruition for 80 minutes. We've done it at times, but again, international rugby is about doing it, you know, for 80 minutes really, and I think that's the next step for us.
Thanks, Johnny.
Johnny, there's been a lot of talk about whether Ireland should be mixing it up in terms of selection for this week, but how can consistency maybe help at a time when things haven't been going your way?
Yeah, again, look, as a player, you don't worry about selection. Well, you do worry about selection. You worry about getting yourself picked. You don't really think about, you know, I wonder if he'll rotate or if he'll try someone else. No, we're very focused on, like I said, trying to get some, you know, better performances out there, cohesion. The better performances will hopefully lead to better results, and that's all we're focused on. Maybe Andy will change a few players. I don't know. There was a couple of changes. We were changing in and out a lot today, so selection very still up for grabs. No team's been announced in this environment yet, and it really adds to training because guys are competing with each other and guys are fighting for places. So it was a good day today, and a good start to the week. We had a good day yesterday, and a big day tomorrow, or a big training day tomorrow. Team will be announced, and then it'll be, you know, over to Rome, and hopefully a good performance and a good result.
Johnny, just on the more immediate future, is there any update on your contract situation? I accept it's a private thing, but have you got it sorted? Nearly, but waiting on.
I'm nearly there, yeah. Waiting on Leinster to see if Leinster want to keep me or not. They've got a few good young tens coming through, so.
I appreciate that. You mentioned there that, like, you know, you might not be part of this full World Cup cycle, and you kind of maybe hinted at things like that over the last few weeks. Like, has there been a shift in your mindset a little bit? I mean, I don't know if you become more realistic. I don't know what the right word is, but has there been a change from your end?
No, like if you look at what I said already, like it's been other people that have sort of thrown fuel on the fire. Isa telling people that I could play till I was 40, 41. Like I've always been in the same position. Like I absolutely love what I do. I'm very privileged to do it, and I'm still loving it, and I'll keep playing for now. Like, you know what I mean? But that has never changed. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've spoken about admiration for athletes that have stayed at the top of their game for a long time. Like, but never, like I don't. You just gotta be careful what I said or what someone else said. I can get lost a bit. But for the moment, I'm still motivated. I hope that my teammates and coaches see how motivated I am to train well every day and then to keep going. and whenever that is, like, I can't say I'm going to play for, because no one knows. You can be 24, 25 years of age and get an injury and you're finished like then, you know what I mean? So it's at the moment I'm contracted for this season and nearly contracted for next season. Hopefully stay, and we'll see what happens.
The Guinness Six Nations Championship, live on Virgin Media 1 and Virgin Media Player.